Okay, so here's a short video. I hope it's a short one about our next unit in Commercial Music Theory 1. This has to do with minor scales, minor keys, minor key signatures, eventually minor chords. I am on page 59 in the workbook, and if you look at the top of the page, on page 59, you may see that it says minor scales, and that's what we'll start with. We'll start discussing the minor scales. As it says here in the book, there's two types. There are two types of tonal centers predominant in Western music. We've already looked at one. That's the major type of tonal center, defined by the major scale, and described in a shorter form with the key signatures. And then from those major scales, we can build major chords and even minor chords and diminished chords by stacking notes on top of each note in the scale. We have chord progressions that go from chord to chord in those major keys. Well, we have the same kinds of things in minor scales. There's a different sound, though. There is a different sound. I don't know if it's going to come across or not. Yeah. So there's the sound of the major scale. Whoops. There's the sound of the major scale that you see. I'm going to try to move this page a little bit. There's the sound of the major scale that you see here. You know this one. All right, from piano class and sight singing class and this theory class. Well, now if we lower the third note, the sixth note, and the seventh note in the scale, we get a different sound. We get this. It's called the C natural minor scale. There's that lowered third, 4, 5, lowered 7, lowered 6, lowered 6, lowered 7, and 1. Here's major, here's minor. Very different sound. Some people say it sounds sadder or darker or more mysterious. It does evoke very often a different kind of mood. The reason that we're calling it natural minor scale is that there are three different types of minor scales actually that we're going to look at. The major scale, there was just one type. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 half steps between 3 and 4 and 6 and 7. That's where the half steps came. Now the half steps are in a different place. They're between 2 and 3 and 5 and 6 with the minor scales. And so that gives us a different quality. There's major, 1, 2, 3, and minor. That 3 is the most crucial note that really kind of gives the different mood, different color to the sound. Major seems brighter, happier. Minor seems a little more melancholy or mysterious or sad. I don't know. It depends on the person, and it's a kind of an objective type of reaction or evaluation of that. So there's minor. You can look at it as a major scale with a lower 3, 6, and 7, at least for now. I gotta find my next page, so bear with me. Now I'm on page 60. And once again we have the natural minor scale happening here. All right. If we take one of those notes, the seventh note, and we raise it by a half step, here it is over here raised, we get a different sound. Here's natural minor, and I should say that natural minor is called natural minor because those are the notes taken from the minor key signature. We haven't talked about that yet, but we will here in just a moment. The notes taken solely and completely and strictly from the minor key signature sound like this. If we raise that seventh note, we get a different sound. And that can allow for more variation with the chords in a chord progression in a minor key. You can get this sound. There's that raised 7 from the scale on the 5 chord in a minor key. There's the 5th note in the scale. You can get that sound. Or if it was a little more jazzy, it might be. Let's see if I can get this in place. It's got that raised 7. So there's a second kind of minor scale. You start with the kind of scale that comes from the minor key signature, and you raise the 7, you get harmonic minor. Well, there's a third type called melodic minor. If you raise the 6 and the 7, then you get this sound. At the end, it almost sounds like a major scale. But then when you get down to 3, that makes it, that's the main note that makes a minor key or minor scale sound minor. There's natural. Here's melodic minor. In classical music, that's often used as a melody device. When the melody goes up, sometimes composers would use those raised notes, and then when the melody went down, there it is, up, then down, they'd go back to natural minor. In jazz, we just use that scale for different colors. And we sometimes play the scale on a note other than the one in the key to get certain colors on certain chords, and we keep the notes raised no matter whether we're going up or down. There's natural minor, melodic minor with raised 6 and 7, and then harmonic minor with the raised 7 only. All right, so how do we get to this natural minor in the first place?